Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chelloveck Movies. My name is John and this video is going to be a kind of channel update slash pickup video. I picked up quite a few things just recently. I've been out and about, so I thought why not, I'll show these things off. I think the best thing about what I find is when I go out and about, you never know what you're going to find, and sometimes you come across some real gems, and I think I've got some real good movies here to a certain extent, and I want to talk about some of them today. Also, I want to talk about like a channel update. This is going to be a kind of brief channel update because I've got a few things penciled in for next week which are going to be sort of elaborating on what I'm going to talk about today. The first thing I want to talk about is obviously hitting 1,000 plus subscribers, which is kind of mind-blowing. I don't really know how to actually explain how I feel about this because it kind of came about and I just put my videos out and hope that people like it and people subscribe. I'm very grateful for anybody who's took the time to subscribe and comment and like a video, and then all of a sudden it gains momentum and momentum. I think it started when I sort of saw the channel going quite like in big leaps and bounds is when I put out my Demons 4K video, which is something I got and I thought, well, I'm going to have to speak about this because I was so excited to get it. And I think from then it seemed we've got that was the one that made it sort of gain momentum. I don't know why that sort of connected, but it did. I'm so grateful to think that it has sort of put me into a wider audience, if that's if I can say that. And so I've got a lot more to talk about on that. What I've got planned for next week. I want to do a kind of my first year on YouTube, because on the 1st of June was officially my first year birthday, to say that that was my first official video I put out on my channel. And I just wanted to talk about what I found on my first year of YouTube and sort of what I think about it all. So also as well, I've got this here which I've found, which is my diary, the only diary I've ever got from it. I'm going to cover some expletives on the front. That's what happened when you were 18. So this here is my diary from 1986, and what I've got in there, I found that when I went to the video shop, I would write in the diary to say, oh, I got this out, I got that out, it was good, it was bad, it was whatever. So I'm busy going through the whole diary. I'm up to, I think, October at the moment, and I'm putting everything what I've got from the video library out, and I'm going to talk about those things. I might even have some of the titles that I rented. I haven't got the physical stuff, obviously, haven't got any of the tapes, although there is one interesting thing to do with the Elephant Man on there, which I'll go into on that video. As you know, I'm a big fan of the Elephant Man, and there's quite a lot to talk about on the Elephant Man in a sense on that video. Also, I'm doing a collaboration series with Jason Brett, and the collaboration is called Monsters on the Loose. I'm going to leave a link down to the first episode down below where we talk about basically how I got into loving monster films, monster movies. And episode 2, which we're going to film tomorrow, which should be Friday, is going to be about the movie Gremlins. So that's going to be, I'm busy re-watching Gremlins at the moment, and I want to get myself all fresh in my mind to talk about it. So that's episode 2, which is going to be, well, Jason's going to capture the footage tomorrow, and then he's going to put that one out. So episode 1's available now, and that's just talking about basically how I got into the monster universe in general. So yeah, so that's Monsters on the Loose. It's going to be a great series for me. I'm excited to do it, and I just wanted you to know that that's going on. So get yourself over to Jason's channel and check it out, because this is going to be quite a long-running series for us. So that's great. Okay, so the first shop I went to was One Below, and the first title I picked up was a one that I've been kind of half interested in. I do remember that this was a thing back in the day on the TV. It's I, Tonya. Now, I remember the true story that this happened with. It was something to do with these figure skaters, and they had a bit of I think this person here was meant to have hobbled the other person in this competition. And it was all about to do with that. And I remember it being on the news all the time. Now, when this was coming out, I thought that would be quite a good thing to watch, and then just never thought anything about it. And it's been one of the ones that I thought I wouldn't mind seeing it. I probably would have watched it on Sky Movies it was on. I haven't seen it on there. But when I saw this for £1, I thought, yep, I'm going to go for it. It is a quite interesting story. I don't know which sort of view they'll take on it. Do they take the view that this person was set up, or does she take the view that she was actually guilty? Be interesting to find out. Next up was the one that I saw and I thought, well, I like these type of films. It might be rubbish, I don't know, but I do think that I usually have a good time in this type of movie, and it's Ninja Assassin. Never heard of it, but it is, believe it or not, a multi-pack containing a Blu Ray, DVD and digital copy for £1. These movies here are usually quite fun. I mean, they are what they are. It has got quite a decent review on Internet Movie Database, so you know, it could be one of those ones that slips under the radar that no one really sort of got when it was out, but these movies can be quite surprisingly good. Next up is quite a strange one that I saw there, and it's 3 films for £1. Now that I'm not going to say they're the best of films. Now strangely enough, this one here, I was looking at it in Poundland. It would have been £2 in Poundland, and I thought, yeah, it looks all right. I might check it out one day, but never got around to it. But when I saw this with 3 movies in for £1, I thought, that's all right. They might all be rubbish, I don't know. This one might be half decent. The other ones, obviously there's a John Travolta in there who can make some really bad movies, as well as Nick Cage. So maybe this I don't even know who the last person is here. Ryan Quanten. Mickey Rourke, it says, and Mickey Rourke, so he's probably in it for 10 seconds. I like Mickey Rourke, I think he's a great actor, although his movies aren't that great anymore. But the interesting thing I found about this is it was actually made by 101 Films. I don't know that I've ever heard of 101. Obviously they do these things, but I didn't know that this was a thing that they got into. And I'm just amazed to see, when I saw the logo on here, that was what tipped me over the edge. I thought I was going to get it anyway, because I was three films for £1, and I thought, well, why not? But yeah, so just quite an intriguing title I found. Next off, I went into CEX, and of course I'm looking for this series actually, and when you see it with a slipcover on, you pounce on it. And this was £12, and it is the out of print, especially with a slipcase, Jackie Chan film Operation Condor, or The Armour of God 2. Now I do remember, I think this was a great film. It's got 2 cuts of the film on here, which I didn't know about. Obviously it's got the reversible art, which is, it's great to have this on. I wouldn't say it's the best reversible art, but I do like the option to have that on. It does come with the art cards as well, or a booklet, and I think, yep, I've got to get that. The main thing is, if I saw this without the slipcover, like it was in HMV the other day, I would not go near it. But this has got some excellent action in here. It's quite funny as well. Operation Condor, The Armour of God 1 is much better, but this one is a worthy successor, I've got to admit, or a sequel. And yeah, it looks brilliant actually, and there's a quite amazing scene in here with this sort of things that are like, I can't even describe what they are. They're like sort of like trestles, and they're sort of flipping like that, and they're sort of jumping across them and having a fight on it. And one of the fellas gets, because there's just a slither of a gap between these 2 things, and somebody gets a hold of Jackie Chan's head and puts it in the way of this thing coming down to more or less slice his head off. And rather than sort of moving his whole body out of the way, he just sort of tilts his head to one side, and this thing goes past it, and I mean at a fraction past his head. Now he takes his ear off. He does some mental stuff in his movies, but that's one of the reasons why Jackie Chan is what he is. He's just so entertaining. His mid-80s films are all brilliant, I feel. So yeah, so really happy to get that. And the slipcover's got a little bit of wear and tear in it, but it doesn't matter. The fact is that it's there, and I do like these slipcovers. That I just think the set, I wish I took more notice of them when they first came out. I would have got them immediately. So with Jackie Chan's film there, Operation Condor, being a slipcover, I thought, I do look for things like slipcovers in CEX. They have a load of 4Ks, which I would have got. None of them have slipcovers, which is just unreal. Some of them do, but they're just really films I would never go for. There's no point in me getting a 4K just for getting its sake. And yes, they are cheap there, but why get it if you don't really want the film? But saying that, I was just mooching around the shelves and I was looking on the Blu-rays, and this caught my eye because I honestly thought that this did not have a slipcover at all. It is Possessor with a slipcover. So check that out. Now, I've always wanted to get this film. I've heard loads of things about it, and I thought myself, right, I'll go and get that. So I went across to HMV, no slipcovers whatsoever, and I just had the impression that there was no slipcovers at all. So I thought, well, I'll get it, but it's not high on my list. But when I saw this one, I thought, wow, there's a slipcover with this. not even think there was one out there. So there you go. So this was a no-brainer. It was only £6 as well. I put it on actually, and just to check it out, and the quality on it is absolutely amazing. So well, it's a brand new film, but I'm really intrigued to see what this is all about, because I heard a lot of people talking some good things about it. Plus it's David Cronenberg's son, so you know it's got that going for it as well. So yeah, what about that? And lastly, from CX, I was just wandering around the shelves and thought, what else is there? And I saw this film, don't know anything about it. It's called The Awakening, and it was for £2. Now it seems like one of these suspenseful horror drama things, but the reason why I picked it up was because it had Rebecca Hall in it. Now Rebecca Hall, for me, is a great actress. She was in Kong vs Godzilla, or Godzilla vs Kong. And she was also in the amazing film called Christine, about the true story about this newscaster called Christine Chubbuck, I think she was called. And she actually shot herself live on TV. So that whole film is amazing. The depiction she has of Christine Chubbuck is just wow. So I do like her as an actress anyway. And I saw this and I thought, well, £2, why not? But quite interesting to see if it's not, it's not. But I do think she's a really good actress, which probably doesn't get the sort of recognition she deserves. So next I went to HMV in Metro Centre, and I bumped into my good friend Stephen Monkey Mason, who runs Lonely Tree Entertainment channel. I'll leave a link down to that one below. And he was telling me about a channel called Slimehouse. Now Slimehouse I am subscribed to, but I was subscribed to on my John Perry channel. Now I'm going to leave a link down to this channel down below, and the one I'm going to leave a link to is a video that he did when he went across to stay in the hotel in Japan, the Godzilla hotel, and it's amazing. I've watched this a couple of times actually, so I'm going to leave a link down to that one down below, and you'll get a blast out of this whole way that he was. He talked about the whole his trip to Japan, and he went in the Godzilla museum, all that type of thing. He's got a great channel anyway. So the guy who runs the channel Slimehouse, Theo Kane Garvey, he's actually made a movie, and this is the movie. He pointed me in the direction of this one. Now it's amazing to think that it's self-produced. It says on the back here, it took 10 years to make. It must have been a really big passion project of Theo, and he turned me onto this. It was $7.99, and I thought, it's only available on DVDs. So the label it's on is on Bright Spark label, and it's a region free release, region 0, and it says on the back here, 10 years in the making, Unit 11 is the most ambitious independent British movie ever made. Unit 11 showcases the impressive directorial debut of Theo Kane Garvey as he redefines the genre, whilst also paying homage to some of its previous classic films. So I flicked a bit of it on. It looked really good actually, and it was just amazing to see this guy actually in the film. And I'm pretty sure that I saw the trailer for this on his channel actually, and I didn't know anything more about it until Stephen said it had come in the shop. So he pointed me towards it, and I thought, right, I'm gonna have a shot and I'm gonna have a look on that. So what I'm gonna do is though, I'm gonna go and review it. I'm gonna go and watch it, and I'm gonna go and review it separately on a separate video. And it's just kind of, hopefully you'll take a trip over to Theo's channel. He's got a great channel. He does loads of things, not just movies. He's got loads of things about collectibles, action figures that he picks up. He's got a wide range of stuff, and his presentation is brilliant. Actually, he's one of the best channels doing that type of thing. And the fact that he's actually made a movie and got it out himself is something else when you think about it. I mean, how many of us would like to make their own movie? Well, Theo's went and gone and done it. So that's absolutely brilliant for me, and I can't wait to dig into this. The little few clips I'd had when I flicked it on, it looked really good actually. So I'm dying to sort of do that and review it. So know that that's coming up as well on the channel. So I do urge you to check this out if you can find it. I think it's quite a decent watch for the fact that it's actually a YouTuber has actually went and made a film. So that's quite good. That was quite an interesting thing to hear, which I would have never known it was there. That's a great thing about Stephen. When you go into the shop, because he works there obviously, he'll say, have you seen this, have you seen that, this is coming out, what about this, what about that, and he puts you in a mind of stuff that you would never even know about. So thanks once again, Stephen, and do check that channel out, link down below. So when I was in HMV, I thought, right, I'm going to go and look on the shelves, and I found this. It's one of the early 88 movies that came out. It was only £10, and it is Dragon Fist. Now, I have slept on this quite a few times. I've seen it a lot of times and never went near it. Actually, the slipcover, even though I look at it, I do like the artwork. I think the colour of it didn't really bring it to life for me, strange enough. But I've taken out the reversible art on here because the slipcover is quite tight to get the thing out, and I do think if they put a bit more red into it, it would be a bit more eye-catching. But now I know that it's got art cards in here, and it's absolutely brilliant print as well. So it's art cards in there and reversible art as well. I do like the presentations that 88 do have for these Jackie Chan films. I think they're absolutely amazing. I do love this cover. I mean, I've got to admit, I love the striking red on it. I just wish that this slipcover would have had a bit more red in it. But anyway, I do know now if I see these ones, I'm going to pick them up because they are starting to get a little bit rare. In fact, I'm really surprised that this was in here because this is one of the first releases. I've never seen the slipcover for this, well, apart from back in the day. And note to self, if I see one, pick it up, because if you don't, it'll be silly money quite soon. So next I went across to the 4K shelves, had a good mooch around in there, and I thought, right, I was dying to get a good 4K, but the ones in the sale, the 2 for $25, it wasn't exactly the ones I wanted. I had most of them in there, and there was a few in there, one in there I would have liked. There was also one in the 2 for £30, but it was a bit of a mix and match one that I couldn't get to work for me. But as I was thinking about it, I thought, hang on a minute, I wonder if this title here has come into the 2 for £30 or the 2 for $25. I can pick that one up with one of the other ones. And it wasn't, although it was $14.99, and it is Jojo Rabbit. Now, I've got to admit, this is one of my favourite films of my recent watching. It's just, I just think it's an amazing film. Can't get enough of this. I do know that the 4K isn't a massive uptick on the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray looks quite good actually. The 4K on the Jojo Rabbit is, I think the sound sounded a bit better. Also the picture is sharper slightly. The colours really are the star of the show. The houses are really bright coloured, and the dresses that they wear is sort of really good colouring in it. But for sort of wow factor, it's not really the wow factor, but I just know that I like this film that much that I just needed it in 4K. Obviously the Blu-ray never come with a slipcover, which is a travesty. So I wanted to get this because obviously for me it's going to be better picture quality. Of course it is, better sound. But I wanted it really for a slipcover. I just think the presentation of it is really good. I just don't like the fact that it wasn't out in a slipcover in the Blu-ray. But it's one of those ones, it's not a huge uptick on 4K. But for 14 quid, $14.99, I couldn't say no to that. So, lastly, what we did was we sort of went off, had a cup of coffee, and we're talking about this other film that we just can't find anywhere. Now, I'm pretty sure this used to be in Poundland all the time, and it's one of those ones when you want it, you can't get it. You can get it on eBay, but at the moment, I think eBay is just being a little bit sort of touchy at the minute, because when you're trying to pay for things in PayPal, I'm having a bit of a problem getting. I've got a great title coming from eBay. It's one of the first ones I've bought in a long time, and I just can't get a hold of it because the person on the other side, he's having trouble with his eBay, not understanding his PayPal, and it's been a bit of a funny thing. It used to go around like clockwork. eBay used to use it all the time. I'm a little bit sort of reticent to use it these days because I feel like it always goes a little bit wrong. And this one, I mean, it's been about 2 weeks and there's still no further forward to getting it. It's not the fella's fault. I've got a notification to saying that this fella's account is going to be asking for my money soon. It's only £10, but I'm really excited to get this. Of course, the one film you want to get and you can't get a hold of it. You can't get it in the UK. But anyway, I don't want to give the game away on that one. So we're talking about this movie anyway. So I went and I got it I got it on DVD form. It's the first time I've seen it for a long time. Of course, now I see it everywhere I go. And I went and asked Stephen what it was all about, and he said it's not available on Blu-ray anymore. It's been stopped. So unfortunately, well, I got it on a DVD because I didn't want to watch it. I thought I'll go on Sky Movies or Amazon Prime and get it off there for free. So when I went on there, of course, what was it? You had to pay about £8, I think, for it. This was $5.99. And I thought, well, great. But you don't get any you get it, but you don't get any physical. If I spend some money on Sky Movies, if I did ever spend it, I would love to get the physical version as well as paying for it on there. But of course, I didn't, because I'm not going to pay for that. I want the physical one. And what was it? It is Contagion. Now, the reason why I got this is because, as everybody knows about, it's basically where we are today with this virus. is kind of like a carbon copy of this virus, as if they've kind of went back in a time machine and sort of done. That's what I'm led to believe. I haven't seen this film. I'm led to believe that this basically is quite spooky in the how sort of close it is to where we are in the world at the moment. Hopefully we're coming out of that at the minute. So yes, of course, it's like them. It's always the case when you want to see a movie, you can't find it anywhere. But yeah, really excited to see this. Me and my wife have been wanting to watch this for quite a while since we started talking about it, thinking, well, this movie's got to be seen because of the whole kind of state of the world at the minute. Okay, so there you go. So thanks for watching. Like I say, there's a full sort of next week. I hope to get out my year on YouTube, what it's all about. Also as well, I do want to say that because I've reached 1,000 subscribers, I can go live as well. Just press the button, go live. And now I don't know when that's going to be. I don't think it'll be any time during the evening. It'll not be for a very long time, probably just be for an hour here and there. It'll just be when I basically get this bit of free time just to go on. So that's going to come up. It's not going to be with anybody, it's just going to be me, myself and Irene, and just say, well, just a quick sort of like bit of a chit chat on here. But like I say, I've got no plans to say it's going to be a Tuesday, Monday, whatever. It'll just happen when it happens. Probably just you'll see maybe a notification coming up. I'm going live probably instantly, and just see how that goes. I'm interested to do it, but it's something that I thought about. I thought, oh, I can do that now if I wanted to. So yes, that's coming up sometime, and so yeah, so plenty of things in the fire, and I'm really pleased, really excited to find out. Well, when I'm reading through this diary, I've got a few things I want to talk about in the diary. They're a little bit sort of wow moments that happened through the some of the things I remember, some of the things I don't remember at all. And I thought, wow, that was just next level craziness. I think when you're 18, you do mad stuff, and you don't realize how mad it is till you actually read it all back. Wow. Okay, so thanks once again for watching. Thanks once again for subscribing to my channel over this past year. I really appreciate it. Can't thank you enough. You take care, and I will see you on the next video. Cheers.